just when I thought it wasn't gonna happen. Hey folks, it's Mary, aka MercyTriumphs, and this is Slow Crochet. Y'all, I am talking fast because I am excited. I'm actually filming the beginning intro of this video after I've already filmed the whole video, but let me just give some context because we are going to Hobby Lobby today. Thank you to Sweet Pea Sid over at Sweet Pea Sid's Creations. You are super wonderful. You are the first person whose video I saw to find out that yes, indeed, Hobby Lobby clearance was happening. And ironically, it is the day that one of my videos is releasing where I was despairing of the clearance happening at all. So I saw your video and I thought, let me go ahead and make a phone call. I called my Hobby Lobby and they said, oh yes, we finished clearancing our yarn and you might want to come on over because it's quite picked over. You can see what's left. My husband just happened to be home from work. He was doing a little bit of work from home and he was finishing up. Dinner was super simple to put together, so I jumped in the car and I said, children, who wants to come with me? One little one volunteered, so we had a real sweet time driving over and laughing. You know, it's rare to get one-on-one time with a child. I said, we're just gonna look at the yarn, and that child said, that's okay, Mommy, I'm just glad to be here with you. So super sweet, melt my heart. So when we got there, I was so happy to see that it was not super picked over. It wasn't just like a little bin that was left. I was concerned that I had missed it entirely and I was already thinking, okay, what other Hobby Lobby can I go to? But no, the shelves still had the red tags on them. It's still on shelves. And I took a little bit of film. Hopefully I'll be able to share it with you with a little bit of my voiceover of what was available while we went. Showing you the stuff that I'm leaving behind. I'm leaving behind Yarn Bee Spiness. I am leaving behind Cotton XL. I'm leaving behind some of this alpaca twist, although I think I'm going to get some. And also I'm going to leave behind this cotton XXL and the cotton knit. Some of this last year. I did not like it. I'm gonna leave it all here, but it is a great price. I just didn't feel like it held up well as a garment. I also had some Second Chance last year, and it was fine. Not my favorite. It didn't tend to hold up. I'm gonna leave that here. I'm also gonna leave the Color Theory. I've never actually used that yarn, but I think for $3.14, I can get yarn that I know I like for that thread. These bigger cones of thread. Smaller ones, all kinds of knitting needles, notions, that kind of stuff. You just see the red tag, you get all excited. Oh, we got over here. All kinds of stuff. Yes, that was one of the most hectic, random little things that I've done in a while. Actually, since I was getting yarn for the shawl along with Bag O' Day. So let me just cut to the chase and let's see what I got. So I'm going to start with, I almost didn't see these, but I grabbed them and impulse buy whatever. I remembered that some of the notions, Sydney had said that some of the notions might be on sale. So I was just going to take a peek on the aisle that has thread and things like that. And that's when I saw these. The boxed sets, yay! Okay, so I got two of them. And they are different. So this one, the original price was $15.99 and it was on clearance for $7.49. This one, I hope that you can see, it's beautiful muted colors. Now, as far as I could tell, these boxes were the only I Love This yarn, that 100% acrylic, that was actually on sale. And so I'm so thankful that I was able to grab these. I was thinking that these would be great colors to pull from when I'm doing amigurumi, because I know that this one especially has like some good skin tones in there, some nice neutrals up there. In fact, let me just show you real quick. These are all 100% acrylic. There's a set of 15 of them, and each little ball is 40 grams or 67 yards per ball. So yeah, they have the color number, not necessarily the color name on them, but it will be helpful if I ever want to get more of these particular colors. I thought these would be really great as I'm working more smaller projects. And the other box has 21 balls, and each of them is 42 yards. So that is a lot more of your bright colors. I'm not going to get into it right now, but this one was originally $27.99, and so it was also $7.49. So I thought that was a really great deal. Actually, to be honest, maybe that wasn't the best deal, but in terms of being able to see and put together colors in the future, especially as I'm planning for something like a blanket maybe, this will be super helpful, and it will allow me to see kind of how different colors go together. I might be using some of these in my scrap blanket back here, but I might hold off and just see what other projects kind of come to mind as the year unfolds. So these were two big wins for sure. All right, so the other yarn I got, every single ball of them was $1.24 per skein. So the first thing that I saw that really caught my attention were these Yarn Bees Soft Stitch. And so these are 100% acrylic. It is 5 ounces, 142 grams, it's 210 yards, and it has the OXO Tech on there. So I got 5 of these balls. I got 2 in oatmeal, 2 in ivory, and 1 in marigold. I thought those were really pretty, and I thought I could get a hat out of this. These would be great for some charity projects in the future, or just, you know, sometimes I just like having something small to work on. I could just grab a ball of this and try out some new designs or something like that. So whether I keep them or give them away, I think they would be really fun to work with. So happy with those. These were originally $4.99, again down to $1.24. But moving right along, the next thing I got was alpaca twist, and I got 7 of these. I was debating between this color, which is Open Waters, and then there was like a soft sage color, like a pale green color that I also really liked. And I thought, you know, this would be a good sweater. So I'm thinking I'll do like some kind of granny stitch sweater, maybe a granny cardigan, not a hexagon cardigan, but something a bit more fitted. That's what this made me think of. This one does call for a size K hook, a 6.5 millimeter hook, which really makes sense because it is a little bit fluffy. There's only 175 yards on this, but it's 90% acrylic and it's 10% alpaca. So here we are, you know, the whole alpaca field trip thing going on, and here's the alpaca in the wild. We have kind of a smaller percentage of alpaca, but it is soft, it is fluffy, and I thought that would be a really fun thing to have, and just here was kind of like a hole in my wardrobe that I could fill. I felt like I would more likely be able to go for like a pale blue, almost like a chambray color, rather than a soft green, much as I like green, and there are other colors of it, but in terms of like sweater quantities, this is what I went for. So with 175 yards, it gives me, I think, about 1,200 yards over the course of 7 balls. So that ought to be a nice sweater for me. So last thing I got. These were just at the bottom. I was surprised that they were still there because, again, the lady on the phone said that it was already picked over, and I was like, oh no, I better rush off. Yeah, I didn't really have to rush. There was plenty for me there. This is Yarn Bee Glowing, and I got 6 of these in various colors. This is 60% acrylic. This is 40% polyester. It's a medium weight number 4. It is a hand wash in cold and lay flat to dry. Don't do anything else special with it, which kind of makes sense because you can see there is a bit of fuzz on here. However, I thought it was really pretty. In the past, I've worked with kind of similar marls or twists of yarn bee yarns. And so I thought, you know what? This would be another thing where I can just grab a ball and have fun, knock out a scarf, maybe knock out a cowl, maybe knock out a hat, and it would be a lot of fun to work with, even if I don't necessarily keep it. So for these, I got 2 in the color Twilight Sonata that has that beautiful brown and kind of that clay color in there with the aqua and the purple. And then I got 2 of Sage in Song. I thought this was really lovely because it has a little bit of that warmer tone. It has the pink kind of running through all of it, as well as some sage green and some yellows in there, as well as a little bit of that burgundy. And then I got 1 of these other 2. I got 1 purple multi, which just is so much fun. This is like the perfect rainbow unicorn kind of idea. Super, super cute. And it has more of that aqua and that bright kind of neon colors running through it. And then the last one that I got, this is Sienna Sunflower. And this is more kind of autumnal jewel tones. So very beautiful. It has that deep olive green, which really is my absolute favorite color. So seeing that running through just made my heart come alive. So that is the 6 of those. Editing Mary here with some buyer's remorse realness. Okay, so yes, last night I went to Hobby Lobby, but no, everything that I just showed is not what I kept. Last night when I went, I had to be super quick because I was in between a couple of things with the family, some kind of time constraints. So I was grabbing things. When I got home, when I was able to kind of think about it a little bit more, even sleep on it, I realized that the yarn that I got was not all going to work for me. So I took some of it back, all of that brightly colored yarn I took back, and I'll show you what I got instead. But let me just say, the reason that I did decide to take it back was the care instructions. That yarn was, as beautiful as it was not easy care. That is something that's important to me. I love making things, but I don't necessarily need the things that I make. So I want to make sure that when I am donating, that it's going to be easy care and approachable for people. I don't want a lot of hand wash or lay flat to dry, because that's just not going to be as practical for some people. So I took back all of that yarn that was super bright colors. So from those 6 balls of yarn, I went back and I got 2 of this color. This is Blue Air, and this is that soft stitch. So now my palette of this soft stitch, I think, is really quite nice. So I have 2 of everything except only 1 of this marigold color. When I went back today, they did not have any more of this, sadly, but that's okay. I have more than enough of these glorious yarns to make wonderful projects with. The other thing that I got that I wasn't sure I was gonna get, because none of the colors were really shouting at me. They were speaking to me, but not really shouting. But I did get 4 balls of Spiness. So this one is the color Hummus. And this one is 3.5 ounces, 99 grams. It's 350 yards. It's classified as a lightweight 3, 75% viscose, and 25% polyester. So the reason I went ahead and got these, and I got 4 of them, they were originally $4.49, reduced to $1.12. The reason I got 4 was I was remembering a shawl pattern that I'd seen that I actually did want to do, and I didn't have yarn set aside for it. And so I thought, even though it's classified as a 3 weight, it's really thin. It's definitely more of maybe a sport, maybe even a fingering weight. So I thought 4 balls is going to give me about 1,400 yards, and that will more than suffice for the shawl that I had in mind. So the color is pretty neutral, but at the end of the day, I thought, you know what? I will love this. I don't care that I already have a lot of neutral shawls already. I get to do what I love. I really do get to be true to myself in the things that I buy. And something like a shawl, yes, it's gonna have a hand wash tag on it, but it would have that anyway, just because they're the type of garment that you're not really going to drag through the mud, not gonna get super dirty, you're not gonna wear it around the kitchen, that kind of thing. You're gonna keep it nice. So even if I have an extra shawl and it doesn't stay with me forever, it will still be taken care of just by the nature of what it is. So back to what I was saying, and that is my yarn haul. So this was the Hobby Lobby that was closest to me. And so there are actually 2 others that I could get to without too much trouble. But I think for now, this is just going to be what it is. No one was still marking down anything. I saw plenty of stuff that was left. And yeah, I feel like this has kind of set me up for a fun sweater to make. These will be some fun kind of hats and things that I can donate, things that I need to have something in my hands, and I'll make it out of this. And then even being equipped for more of the small projects, I think this is going to be wonderful and serve me quite well. So yes, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for coming along with me. Thank you for listening to my little bit of a ramble and excitement over this. All told, it was right at about $40. So not too bad, considering that about 15 of that were those boxes of yarn. Yeah, so thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Thanks for listening to me ramble and just blather on about the yarn that I ran out and got. That is not typically the way I shop, and part of me was like, oh, I could still take some of it back if I need to, because I'm not really that into impulse buying. But then again, I think this is going to bring me a lot of joy, and I'm excited about having this available to pull from just as projects come to mind. So thank you to all my subscribers. Thank you to everyone who's new here. I'm really glad to see you. Thanks for spending some time with me, listening to me ramble and ramble. Yeah, y'all are amazing. You always encourage me, and I love spending time with you. And if I'm not your cup of tea, thank you so much for listening this long. I do appreciate you, and I do hope I'll see you again soon.